It is a pleasure to welcome you on yet another edition of Random. Yes, we've been at it for almost 3 months now. Yes, almost 3 months. And from one guest to another. And today promises to be something unique, something different, because I'm privileged to have with me someone who we grew up listening to him, and it's a pleasure to have him with me seated here some 17, 18 years back. If they tell me that today will be a reality, it would have been far-fetched that how come that's possible from where to where. But today it's a reality, and I'm proud and I'm happy to let you know I have with me one of the OGs before IG. OG Tete, when radio was one. Before now we have almost 50. Can you imagine? I have with me Tony Roland Awobode. Don't he say so? Don't he? You're welcome on the door. You heard?
For that, the Golden Radio. It's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure that I'm here. Of course, I've watched your growth. It's been very inspiring.
Thank you, sir.
And I can only but wish you well and say keep it up.
Thank you so much.
I'm so privileged to be here as well.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Yes. In case you are watching for the very first time, you know that on this show, which is called Random, one of the things we do is to touch on all the areas of interest of our guest. We must have profiled our guest and come up with a thing or two to know, okay, our guests seem to be interested in this and this, and my guest here today is a man of many interests. But one of the very first thing I will talk about, the very first thing is I was hoping that you will use that your bracelet. That one that looks like a bike chain.
Oh, the bike chain.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking for it. I'm kind of like missing something. So yeah, my bike chain bracelet it's I couldn't find it.
What tickles your interest about bikes?
Okay, I think something about biking is like life. You know, it's more stable when it's on motion. So biking and the joy I derive from biking, it's the motion, the balance it gives me when I'm on the move. Yeah, so it's thrilling. It creates a sense of adventure. It creates a sense of beyond normal, especially if you're riding one of those very powerful, as they call them, power bikes, with very high capacity engine, because I like the thrill, I like the vibration, I like the motion, I like the momentum, I like the speed. I love speed. So yeah, I think biking is very thrilling for me. I've been riding bicycles since when I was young. Not only do I ride them, I also stunt them.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see me, take my BMX bicycle, my chopper, I'll ride on a hill, sand hill. Anything that I see is like obstacle. I can ride with no hands. I can ride, take up the front wheel.
All those,
yeah, I did all sorts of stuff.
All those
So yeah. And then when I started riding motorcycles, started riding as early as maybe age 11.
Wow.
Yeah, motorcycle, the normal 50, 100 and 150cc. But by my teenage years, I was opportune to be on the power bike, and since then, yeah.
Teenage years?
Yes. So,
on a power bike?
Yes, but I eventually bought my personal bike much later as an adult, and I bought a 1000cc Kawasaki ZX10.
See the way you mentioned it.
So that was about 17 years ago, and I rode it. I mean, the first week I got it, from Ibadan, I rode to Elisha, and then the second week, yes.
Okay, you've been riding before you got it, right?
Yes, but that was my first, and then I took it everywhere: Abuja, Makurdi, Port Harcourt, Calabar, everywhere.
What is it with bikers and is this adventure now or being bold and daring?
So like I said, like life, the motion. So just like you enjoy life. Life is all encompassing, when you say life is interesting, it's the thrill of life. Okay, I went to school, and then from there I went to primary school. Why didn't you stop at the primary school? You had to move to secondary school. You had to move to university if you had the opportunity, and then people go do masters and do PhD. Why are they progressing? Same thing. The biking is life. So the more you're on motion, the more you see the thrill and you feel stable. For me, it's also therapy. Once I ride, I clear my head. So yeah.
Once you ride, you clear your head.
Yes.
Need for Speed. I think that's. I think there's a song like that by Olamide. Need for Speed.
Exactly.
Now, talking about speed, talking about bike, and of course, I mentioned something about being daring and bold. Is that the reason why most times bikers they are kind of profiled when it comes to hard guys?
Yeah.
People believe that bikers are hard guys. Not that they believe. If you assemble 10 bikers, they are hard men. When I say hard men, I mean strong men.
No, I totally disagree. I totally disagree. We have all kinds of, it's like the human itself. You're made up of the different characteristics build up over time. So you see a child, just like a child might be, some children are just gentle. Some children are born stubborn. Yeah, so bikers, we have stubborn, we have gentle, we have...
Have I seen a gentle biker before?
Yes. Wow. But there's just one underlining thing, it's the passion. It's like you like something. Okay, is everyone that paints gentle?
No, I won't say that.
Is everyone that paints?
But when sometimes when
Yes,
sometimes when there is a generalization, it's maybe because majority of
So this is what brings the aggression. Sometimes when you meet a biker that is aggressive, he's trying to protect himself because is on the disadvantaged, especially if he's riding and we call them cagers. When you're in a cage, that means you're in a car, you are caged, you are locked up. So we are free. So when we're on our freedom, and then you now see us and somehow you want to come and use your own cage to colobby our own freedom. So sometimes you become a little bit agitated and so it comes off as if the biker is but no, we're not.
Because in movies, I know that there is this, especially foreign movies now, I'm talking of American films, there's a way they portray bikers. So once you see a team of bikers, you see a gang. Most times, when you see them, especially all those ones with, what's the name of that one with
the Harley Davidson.
Once you see them like that, I know that these are gangsters and they are up to one mischief or the other.
Yeah, they have gangsters actually. Yes, they have gangsters. They have packs. They have groups.
Exactly. That's
clubs.
Another thing. They move.
Yes, in packs and groups. The ones that ride solo, they're called indies, like independent. So you have. So, but
even all this
it's a stereotype.
All this your language is indie, packs. It makes as someone double check. Are you sure these people are?
It's a stereotype. There was a time that if you watched any Nollywood movie or Nollywood basically, you will, if you saw someone on a bike doing one thing or the other, it was probably me acting that part. But I eventually, when I got very involved in the biking community and rose up, officially become either the president. I was one of the longest serving vice presidents. I'm an affiliate, so I'm known all over the nation because we have registered clubs and association, even in the federation. I also had to go back to stop that stereotype because every role they gave me to ride a bike was either it was a getaway, they stole something, someone went to assassinate someone, or there was a bad guy. So I'm saying no, it's a stereotype because, for instance, I act in the part. I'm a responsible member of the society, but when they call me to play a part, it's always a part that is stereotyped. So some of these things are stereotyped. One of the most famous gang happens to also love biking, so those are the ones they portray.
Okay. Okay. I think you've been able to sufficiently deal with that one. So where is the farthest place you've ever rode your bike to?
Okay, so I will not call it as a particular distance, because we move around. So for instance, I can say I rode to Ghana. Ghana may just be 800 kilometers, but if I'm reading 2,000 kilometers as a stretch, maybe moving from Port Harcourt to Calabar to, so we've done a lot of that. I don't even calculate anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, but so that's it. We just ride. They say the ride is the destination.
Oh, so now I think we've been able to sufficiently clear that bike part, because I always wonder these people, you see them on the express. I'm saying these people, they fear. They are just, and there's this particular lady, I think a Biade or something. She's riding everywhere, and then there's another thing, they document it. They have this camcorder or something they record, and it's quite beautiful. But then sometimes when you think of all these, all the risk involved, have you ever been involved in an accident?
Yes.
And it did not stop you?
No.
How was the experience? The accident.
Terrible. I've had like, okay, there was one that I had while, okay, of course, I think I was at the early days of Splash.
Okay.
Yeah, so because I know the studio was at the Premier Hotel on the hill. Mm-hmm. So I left, and so around Mokola, I hit something, went off. But 2 days, 3 days, I was on air. I was still talking with my injuries.
Wow.
I was on a trip to Ilorin. I had another one, which was quite, intense. But yeah, fine. I got on the bike again.
I never stopped you.
No. I'm a biker for life.
Interesting. A biker for life. I love power bikes too. I hope to get one someday, but I don't know if I will ever have that guts.
You must be very disciplined. Highly disciplined. So biking, the passion is a dangerous passion. You're every day the risk is high. So if you're distracted by the attention you get, and some people want to get bikes because of the hype. I brought a lot of people into biking because they saw, the image Dante, that guy. I see him on his power
cool.
bike.
Yes,
but you don't
cool.
know the. I'm not riding because I want you to see me riding. I ride because I ride. Yeah, so yes, we've had horrible moments, but we still ride. Yeah. Wow. And we've also had great moments too.
Great moments too. Interesting. That sounds tempting. One of these days, we shall find out. Maybe it will happen or not.
Oh, yes.
Now, moving away from bike now, let's talk about something else which is of great passion to you as well, which you are passionate about.
Yes.
I was somewhere years back, I'm talking of 10, 11 years ago, and we're having a general discussion about the media space. And someone said one of the most I'm trying to remember the exact word now. I can't remember the exact word, but what the person was trying to say, one of the person that lacks ambition that he has ever seen in his life is Dante.
Okay.
I said, why? He said when he was hot, he should have moved to Lagos. I don't know if he's ambitious, he would have moved to Lagos because he was hot, he was everything, but then he chose to remain in Ibadan. And now recently I made a move too, but no, my own is not, I won't say it's ambition driven, but then I also made a move, and then I've had similar what's it called now, comment about why this long, why didn't you move, why are you just moving now? You should have made this move a long time ago, because now you are ready, now it seems you are ready to step up your game. So you were the icon of anything EP, anything young and fresh on air, because I remember maybe 2 or 3 of your names that I still remember. I remember you, I remember Lyrical Genius.
Right.
I remember, I think those are the 2 names that comes to me right now that were cool on the FM, Oluyole FM, that time before Splash Cable came. But then everybody thought that this guy is too big, too big to be in Ibadan. Why? What made you stayed back? And take me through.
Okay, so first, I just don't live in Ibadan. Okay. Ibadan lives in me. Okay, there are stories that I can tell that might raise my concerns of emotion, which attaches me to Ibadan. So let me say, and I've said it too many times. I said, Ibadan saved me. Radio saved me. So I'll explain why I say that.
Okay.
So I was in a certain point of my life, I still refer to it as one of the lowest points in my life, while I was a frustrated Nigerian, who believed that he didn't deserve to be in this country, because like you can at least a few people can identify that I was hot. I was
more than a few.
Yes.
Anybody in our own generation can actually bear you witness.
So I still do a bunch of multiple talents that I believed will have blossomed outside of Nigeria. And I made all desperate efforts to try and make it come to fulfillment. For whatever, maybe destiny, like they say, did not allow it happen. So in my lowest state, I was in Lagos. So my mom was in Lagos. My sisters are in Lagos. I have, so in my mom's house, I have a room in the house. I also have the BQ. So I had all the opportunities to be in Lagos. And I move around Lagos, like Lagos is Lagos. Lagos boy, typical Lagos boy. But when life happened to me, I needed to find the balance. And where I found it was Ibadan. Because, of course, I came to Ibadan in a train when I was to come and start secondary school. I went to Loyola College, which was not supposed to be. So something brought me to Ibadan. And when I had the chance to go out of the country, and I did, and it became problematic, I found myself by means I did not understand back in Nigeria. What rescued me to give me who I am, that I can still sit on a podcast and still be regarded as somebody, was that I came to Ibadan, and then I was able to get that balance. If perhaps I will have gotten it in Lagos, I don't know, but I say destiny. Ibadan gave me the balance. And it was radio that brought back that sanity. So I got back on radio, and I was getting life back. So it's like something that rescues you. Do you live it? No. So that was what Ibadan was to me. And when I started to express all the abilities that I would have expressed anywhere in the world, and Ibadan was the place. And guess what? Most of the things that people wanted to do in Lagos, I did it from Ibadan, and I felt fulfilled. And while I was supposed to go back to Lagos, at that time when I thought, okay, go to Lagos, we had a loss in my family, which was my sister, and my mom also, to regain that, losing a child. Where did she get her solace? Ibadan.
Wow.
So I couldn't leave
Ibadan again.
Yes, because I can't leave my mom too. So it was also part of the things that made me stay. Yeah, so that's some of the stories that a lot of people don't know. They just think that, life is just get out, move. No. So yeah, my mom.
That must have been a very huge sacrifice.
Yes, a very, very
and
huge sacrifice. And I don't regret it.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It speaks to the value you attach to family for you to have made that huge sacrifice.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And so when I started business as well, when I went independent, and I got into advertising, and I started to work with top major agencies. I don't even go early. I leave about on 10, 11. I meet the meetings, I sign the checks, I make the money, I come back to Ibadan. So, and all my guys, and guess what? While we were doing all the things that we did, like I did a lot of promotions, so I worked with many guys, many of the top artists that you know today. I worked with them. I worked in their promotion. So I'm usually in Lagos. Unfortunately for me, I also worked for an agency that was in Ibadan, and we did events around Nigeria, mostly in the southwest, representing big companies. We're talking about the telecommunications. So I was the client service executive. I was in Lagos. I happened to also work on many projects for these top companies as either creative and stuff. So with the companies, we have 10 creatives in Nigeria, mostly 6 from Lagos, 1 from. There's always that one person that is coming from out of, and usually it's me. And when we're sitting down, there's no segregation in terms of intellect. Yeah, we have the intellect. So it's only when you say, where are you from? When you say Ibadan, then I'll say, oh, you're from Ibadan. But we've already talking on the table, and we're putting our intellect on the grounds, and we're creating and we're strategizing. No one asks where you're from. It doesn't matter then. Yeah, so I've been able to do a lot of stuff without having that you're living about it. It doesn't affect me anyway. Anywhere in the world, I don't say, even when I went out of the country for a few things, I say, where are you from? I don't say Lagos. I say Ibadan. Ibadan, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't take anything from me. It doesn't make me less who I am.
I want you to share with me that feeling of being the guy. I'm talking of when I said something earlier. I said when radio was one. No, we had more radio stations actually, but we had AM stations. I think we had BCS FM, AM, and then we had Premier FM. Then we had Oluyole FM.
Yes.
It was the thing that time,
exactly.
And you were one of the top dogs, and of course the young generation, everybody. So you are the coolest dude on the block, because now we have like almost 50 radio stations.
Yeah.
Radio stations have like maybe 10 or 5 different personalities and everything.
It's sad.
But I'm here sitting and wondering what it felt like being the guy. Maybe you guys were 2 or 3 or 4 young guys like that making things happen. And then when you go out, when you step out, of course, it's not in the area of social media. But then, back then, when you step into any place, anywhere, that is Dante that you hear on radio. That feeling of anywhere you enter, you know that the high of the city is on you, because some of them don't even know what you look like because there are no social media.
Exactly.
So this is the guy, I'm hearing his voice. Yeah. That feeling, what was it like then?
It was crazy. Wow. It was crazy, but we were not self-conscious. We were not self-conscious, actually. We were just doing our thing. We were just passionate about what we did. We were just enjoying ourselves. We were just expressing our God-given talent. We were just developing. You know, there was no extra air. It's once a while, or usually, let me just say, even the once a while were usual, but we didn't see it as anything. You go somewhere, and then so there was one situation. Apart from being on air, I was doing other stuff. So I was working for an agency, and we used to handle major clienteles, and do major shows all over Nigeria. And one day I was in the bank in Ilorin, a bank in Ilorin. We needed our money to come out. It was a lot of money, and the manager, they were not giving us the money, and I'm in charge of the project. So I was so furious in the bank. So while what's happening? The bank scattered because we needed that money. We needed to pay for stage, pay for so many stuff. And someone came out, okay, come, sorry, what's your name? So I just said, Tony Roland, but just out of, everywhere went quiet. Are you Dante? Dante, well, Dante. And in less than 5 minutes, it was resolved. Now that's 1 out of 1,000 situations that's happened with just that name. So yes, it was a privilege to have been on air.
So how do you feel when you put that side by side with the present day reality of an average OAP? Let me put it that way. You may not know how we really feel, as in talking about you, because you are not in their shoes. But when you compare your status and that you enjoyed back then as a radio personality, compared to what an average
they're not hungry enough. They're not hungry enough. They're not hungry enough. So you will expect that. What made, so a lot of people don't know, and I have a lot of mentees in the industry, and I tell them these stories to try and encourage them. You see, while you thought that the Dante you met 18 years ago was just enjoying based on his acclaim on the mic, no, we're doing a lot of work backstage. While I was on radio, even in Premier FM. So when I was in Premier FM, we did marketing.
I never knew.
Yes.
I never knew. I started from Premier FM.
I started from Premier FM.
Wow.
I started from Premier FM with my partner, and that's how I got into radio by mistake. I just walked into the studio. He invited me to just come because he knows that while we were in secondary school and while I was in the university, I was always very up and about now, I've been going for clubs, raves since when I was in JS3. I've been going to, so they know that I'm into entertainment. It's like their blood. So he invited me over to the radio, and I just spoke, like a guest, and everyone thought, wait, are you from this station? No. Where do you? No, sir. What are you doing? I'm doing nothing. Can you come next week? Yes. So apart from that, we started doing marketing because I thought to myself, I will not come and present on the radio show. We will walk back because there was no money. So if you were, for instance, in Ibadan, you're in Oli, and you had to walk back to Dubai, And I thought, no, this is not sustainable. Guy, let's go and look for guys that can sponsor our shows. So those are the kind of things I was doing. I've walked into every boutique in Queen Cinema with my partner to say, come sponsor us. I've gone into every eatery So we are putting the work. So then, even when we became more acclaimed, more popular, and more stations started to come in, so marketers will come and say, Don't now what for you? We went here, you are there. We went here, you are there. I didn't just make the name because I was just talking on the mic. We're doing a lot of work. And when the events in Lagos come into play, maybe they have shows, you have the Headies, then it used to be the Hip Hop Awards. I'm in Lagos already. I'm already hobnobbing with the guys. I already probably on the day of the event, I have 3 passes. I have VIP pass because
was that on the bill of the station or your personal?
My personal. Matter of fact, I bought my cameras. I bought everything myself. So while I was in BCOS, the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, they will not give me a camera. But I got my own camera. I'll go and record it. Even when I record the clips, they will not even still play it. We'll still have to go to the MCR. We'll still have to find a way to coerce our HOD. One day they'll just give us one special edition, which we'll just slot it. We went there. Yeah, so it was a lot of work. So even where they gave us a chance to be on the mid-morning show, we're looking for ways to get sponsors for them to give us sets. I'll go to furniture homes. So it's the work. It's not just talking. Talking just gives you the name, but the substance. So when you say back then, and even till now in some quarters, if you say Don T, you got to feel it now. If any new company comes into town, I'm already in there talking to their marketing manager. I'm already developing concepts, creating ideas, going everywhere. If any club opens, then if there was any outfit of entertainment that opens in this city, I was part of it. Either as consulting or dropping ideas, helping out one way or the other. Yeah, so that's how the name got acclaimed. So I go to a nightclub, I'm already a VIP member of the club. I'm walking through my boss. I had to go work somewhere else. I'm an associate member of maybe the polo club or the golf club. Even at that time, I didn't have to pay the registration fee, but I'm at the polo club. I'm at the golf club. If any event happens anywhere with any top blue chip company, I'm probably the MC. If I'm not the MC, I'm probably one of the event managers. If not, I'm on the creative. Yeah, so, but a lot of this, our guys are not doing so much. They just expect that the hours they spend and the clock in is the clock in. My show is starting by 12 and by 3, and that's all for the day. No, that's not how Don T operates. I mean, I'm already working before I got into the station. And once I leave the mic, I'm already working again. So that's how I became acclaimed. So I can say from the political settings, I have people in there I've worked with. From the social setting, I have people I've worked with from blue chip companies. So yeah, that's what they should do. That's what they should do. You're a marketer of your brand. You market it, not the salary you earn from a station. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you may be proud, but then I just realized now, sincerely speaking, I'm coming to realize that I'm actually not doing enough, and I actually did not do enough. I actually did not do enough.
It's never too late.
I actually did not do enough because there was a time. I think there's everything. There was a time and season. There was a time as well when I was very, very hot on air.
Yes.
But I never went out.
Yes.
Not once.
Yeah.
Not once.
So that's
not once.
Mistakes.
And when do you think now? Let's talk media now. Do you think most of these? What motivated you then? Because you are self-conscious and self-aware.
Yes.
Maybe because of your passion and the way you're home. Because most of these times, most of the things we see these days. Let me use myself as an example. I was a comedian. I just want to talk on air, make people laugh, and go home. And that was exactly what I got the opportunity to do. So mine is just to come on air, make people laugh, and go home. I suffered so many things. Mentorship. I suffered from lack of mentorship. I suffered from lack of, what's it called now? Lack of exposure.
Okay.
I was coming from Kwara State, Nigeria, where I just listen to radio and I love what they do and I just want to speak on radio. I got to Ibadan, I pushed for it and I got the opportunity to speak on radio. I got on radio, I started talking, and that was an end in itself for me. I had nothing else in sight. I was just having fun. So while I could have done one or two things to get more, to do more, I did nothing. But like I said, the part of the station, they were pushing, but they were not motivating. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Because I could remember back then at Space, Elder Dada Ogundele of blessed memory, we call us together in a meeting and they will say, how many hours is your show daily? You say 5 hours. Engineer, accountant, quantify that in what's it called for me? In diesel. Okay, times that diesel, how much is a liter of diesel?
Wow.
You should be bringing in this.
Something.
So what do you do? How do you? So then it felt like they were pushing us, but like I said, they were not motivating us because had it been, we got that understanding that this is not for the station. They made it feel as if they are trying to do us extra for the station. Great. Whereas I feel if with the benefit of what I know now, or what I'm just learning from you now, it would have been much more effective if they had sat us down and shown us successful OAPs. If you want to live this life, you have to do this. It's not for you, for the station. It's for you. Because then there was already a kind of feeling towards the station that the station is not taking care of us enough.
Yeah.
So asking us to do more when you are not doing enough for us,
so
felt like
be a pullback.
Exactly.
Pushback.
There's that resistance that you can't be asking us to do much when the basic thing you should be doing for us, you are not doing it. So there was that rebellious what's it called, stance that made much of us stand against that thing. But had it been, like I said, maybe they have been different in their approach, or they have made us see these things and they have found a way to, but I guess like Riley said, it's not too late. And I guess it's not too late for anybody that is watching now, especially for young OAPs.
It's not too late.
It's interesting.
So
it's interesting.
Do you know what my motivation was?
Yes.
So by the time I left, so when I had the opportunity at Premier FM, I'm always grateful to my friend for inviting me over, Babatunde Georgige, BGI. We got an opportunity to do a soap opera, and guess what? It was a major role, because in that particular role they needed a cast of twins, and P Square were supposed to be casted.
Wow.
So eventually my guys, Twin X, at that time, they negotiated and they didn't agree, you know, on the amount. So they were desperately looking for a cast. But I and BGI were not twins, but we were always on radio together. We're partners on the show. So somehow we got invited. We got the role. We did our audition. We got the role. So I, even at that time, already had the middle role on a sitcom. I mean, on a soap opera that went on for 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yes. So eventually I was supposed to go to OGBC, but I told you my mom, and so I decided to stay. I went to BCUS. Now, this was the motivation. While I was in BCUS, we had fantastic, I've never met such fantastic people, media personalities as such. Shade Ogedengbe, you know, such names.
All those heavy names you've listed.
Laolola Tubosun. You know, we used to be in the same unit and have meetings. I was privileged to be with these people. And then my own contemporaries, lyrical genius, Shea Kerele, Willie Lord, Black D, you know, all the guys. And I was the latest kid on the block.
Wow.
You know, so, but I brought in my own flair, my own style. So one evening, Lao, as we used to call him, invited us to go and hang out. I think somewhere in Queen Cinema. We went to eat pepper soup. And when we were going home, everyone, Okada, the one that could enter his car, entered his car. His car was like a rickety. It was that day. Okay, it was the day after. So that was the first experience. Then another day, invited us to his house because we heard that Sonia Ade used to come to his house to eat pounded yam. His house is there behind BCUS. This our Oga we drives a Jalopy 504. A whole Sonia Day used to come to his house. And one day we experienced it. So I now said, no. Me, I don't want to be like him. You know, this is not derogatory to him. Like I said, I respect him so much. It was a motivation. I was like, no, I'm not going to be as old as he is. Have so much influence. And yet, they gave him all the respect though. But I remember going there, we went with the Jalopy, they were just alienating us as media. I said, no. When I'm coming, I have to come in good. I won't come in lacking. I won't come in, we go somewhere and they'll now say, no, don't pay your bills because you probably don't have it. Even if you say out of respect or say, okay, don't pay. fine, but I have my money. So that was the day I made up my mind that if I'm going to be in this media, I'm going to do it for a short while. Besides, it's a means to an end. A lot of people don't know that part about me.
Yeah.
Before I got into the media, I had other things I wanted to do. Okay, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to own real estate. I wanted to create concepts. I wanted to have a conglomerate. Those are my plans. My business plans, my agriculture, my inventions. I wanted to invent things. So media came in. So media is a means to an end. So that's why I'm still involved in so many things as a consultant, as an advertiser. And I do so many other stuff, so many other creative stuff that people don't even know. And as I'm evolving, I'm entering new levels. So that's where it be. So those were my motivations to, to make something lucrative out of media. If not, you will just have the passion, and the passion will burn you, burn time, and all you have is you retire with no benefits.
Tired.
Yeah, so that's how it is.
Interesting. So, now there's a trend. I won't say trend. It is a trend actually. Some of our bosses in the industry who are media practitioners too, they are floating their own radio stations because they believe the media business is quite strategic. Maybe not very lucrative, but quite strategic, and it has its own stuff for them. Have you ever thought of that? Having done TFM? No. Why?
No.
Why won't you want to have your own radio station?
Okay, because I know better.
Have you ever had it in mind before?
Randomly.
Okay.
But not seriously. I may have it, but to me now it doesn't make business sense. So I will explain. So by the time I already told myself that 10 years, I'm going to spend 10 years working and making sure I understand the business intricacies. So fortunately for me, I went back to school, so I went back to study mass communication diploma, and then I also went for a degree. What do they call that? Degree now. Degree. I would say there's no degree too. There's no military. Anyways, so I had that in media, mass communication and media technology from the City University. Then I had a master's program, a progressive master's program in marketing, and that exposed, it gave me a lot of insight. And within the 10 years, not only was I on the mic, like I told you, I'm very purposeful. So I put my head inside marketing. So there's a department they call traffic, how to program. I put my head in that. I've learned production. I've learned audio-visual production before, so I know that very well. In short, I got in management. So I went back also to become a chartered management consultant. So I know management. So I learned the business in all angles. If the generator spoils, I know how it can be resolved. If anything happens to the console, I can personally fix it. Anything happens to the computer, I can dismantle it. So I know the intricacies. So it exposed the business. And then I knew that there was going to be a period there was going to be digital media. And then because I also create concepts, I created concepts that is now existing. Things like this, podcast, digital reality radio, So this podcast is going to evolve. So people like us, we've seen it 10 years ago. So I got disinterested in terrestrial since then. So what people are investing now is something that my vision has gone beyond. I don't know if you get it.
Yes, sir.
That's the only reason why I'm not interested. It's like, why am I going back to something that I saw the next future? So it's privileged though. So it's not everyone that sees vision though, but I saw it. So I will not invest in terrestrial broadcasts. I saw that this was going to happen, and that's why I said I was going to go independent after 10 years. So imagine if I still remain 50 radio stations. will I be a presenter? So the ones that cannot sustain their present positions are now, for one reason or the other, now have their own radio stations. You want to mention their names? I respect this man so well. Yinka
Ayefele. We have Yemi Shonde. We have Oriyomi Hamzat.
So do you think they are just ordinary presenters?
They are not.
These are people, these are business entrepreneurs. I've worked with
Prince too. Prince of Prince FM.
Fantastic. These are people, these are entrepreneurs. Do you want to start with Yinka Ayefele? I have absolute respect for him. Do you want to talk about what he's been doing over the years? So the media is something to support even his brand. So apart from the fact that he's making commercial, which he's able to do now, he has something that is able to sustain it. And he has other business endeavors that you probably don't know of. When you're talking about agency relations, I mean, Yemi Shonde has been involved in that for donkeys of years. While I was in BCS, I met him in BCS. These are people that we used to look at that time. Egbon. I mean, do you know how many companies he has managed in terms of their media relations? We've worked on the project before, which is a national project that I was privileged to work with him. We went, defended it in Lagos. We got that contract. He got the contract. A lot of money. Yeah, so these are people. So you cannot just, Yoruba will say far away. Yeah, so you just say because you talk on radio, you want to set up a radio station. No. You must know what you're doing. Then look at correct person.
Yes,
my person.
My very, very good person. My personal Alaji.
Alaji has his skills. Alaji, he went from one stage to the other. So these things are not meant for everyone. Not meant for everyone. So yeah. But if you have a lead-in, which I don't yet, you can go for it. But for now, I've also don't forget that I consult for radio stations.
Okay.
I know what comes in, I know what goes out. To me, for now, it doesn't make good business sense. That's for me.
All right. All right. Now, you said something the other time. You said something about vision, that is a privilege, not everybody. Maybe many people know you as the EP, the biker, the Donty, that is the cool guy on radio, the voice guy, the radio guy. Many people don't know the spiritual part of you. Yes, your spiritual part of you, many people don't know. But you are a deeply spiritual person, and in a very, very unique way. So I would like you to to take me through your concept of spirituality and what you think it is.
Okay. So for me, the world is loud. The world is spinning. Okay. So in the literal sense of it. So if you are a mathematician or you studied physics, they'll tell you things like momentum. They'll tell you. So the world is actually spinning. It's just that we can't feel it. But every other thing is always constantly resonating, vibrating. So there's a whole lot of noise, especially the world is full of noise. Now, spirituality for me is what brings the quietness. Is what brings the stillness. So let me give an example. You rush to Dubai, right there at Cocoa House. There's Queen Cinema, there's 110, there's Okebola
Road.
There's Ring Road, and you're right there in the middle, and you don't know where to go. You know, everywhere is buzzing. Imagine if someone just tells you, and you don't know anywhere. You just came in from Ofawa, I just came from Zaria or from Jos, where I came from, and you're standing right there. You will never know where to go if there's no sign. So spirituality, it what gives you that quietness and the peace of mind, of direction, clarity of mind. So that's what I see spirituality as. Your purpose, where you should go, what you should do, and when you should do it. It's just as simple as that. So, and I also believe through spirituality that life is a progression. Life is a momentum. How do you move from this stage to this stage? So that's basically as intangible as that is. That's the way I say it. Yeah, so that's spirituality. But a lot of people mistake spirituality with religion. Okay. So now religion is the conditioning that allows you to get instruction. Okay. So some people believe that they cannot get instruction without religion. But spirituality allows you to get instruction regardless of whatever religion. It's just as simple as that.
Interesting.
So you want to ask for my religion?
I think I will ask now, because at some point I remember a very good friend of mine said I was invited to a church and one of the speakers there was Don T, and he said something funny. He said, I don't understand. Maybe he's a pastor, or I don't understand, because he spoke or used the Bible, but he was not talking like a pastor. And there are certain things he said that I cannot conceptualize. So since then I said maybe he's an upcoming pastor. Maybe he's here to fully declare his intention. And then ever since then we've been waiting that one day we hear that Dante has finally declared and is now an apostle, a pastor, an evangelist. But that day has not come yet. And I follow you on social media and I realize that I follow you and I read certain things from you that are very deep, and I know that those depth also always comes from a very, very deep place. So I know that you are still in that place, but you are not coming out in terms of what we are expecting as like a spiritual head of an organization, or declare and let's know if is he a pastor, is he a magician,
no.
Is he
not a pastor. So you see, we are conditioned by religion, and that's one of the things that I right now, growing up and getting more matured even spiritually, I try to de-emphasize, because I'm a follower of Jesus. I don't know how what that means to anybody else, but I understand what it means to me. So I'm a very deep follower of Jesus. I had to spend about 4 or 5 years to focus on Jesus, and not really more from the religious context, you know. And fortunately for me, and unfortunately for me too, what I discovered breaks all the foundation stones and all the pillars, if you're building a house, and all the lintels of religion. Because everything Jesus came for was against the religion. It's so unfortunate. And we cannot realize it. And I also realized that one of the things in prophecy from all the major prophets, from Ezekiel to Daniel, because that's what I will know, that I will not start quoting. Because even people that are not spiritual, that are religious, have been able to build the followership based on quoting. So I could quote for you, but I will not quote, but I will just tell you what it is. They said everything that was going to happen at this period. Even Jesus also said it. That when he comes, what is one of the things that he said is finds very interesting. He says these are the people that call him. He is the one that he will even condemn. Why will he say that? He said, "Depart from me." Jesus, why are you? We are the ones now. So it's not the people that are pretending to like him. It's the ones that are actually calling him, that are doing his work, that he will say, "Depart from me." And I like Jesus. Jesus always gives them the answer, which is the complete of this matter. He says, "When I was hungry, you did not feed me. When I was clothless, you did not clothe me." He now said, "When I was in prison, you did not visit me." You know, they were so surprised. Jesus, when were you in prison? He says, "As long as you do it to the least of my brethren, then you've done it to me." So that means there's something missing in religion. Religion is a conditioning to God. But God, which is in this case, as Christians, they say Jesus, right? But everything that Jesus wants, you're not doing it for Jesus. You're doing everything claiming you're doing it for Jesus. And that's not what he wants. So the church, I'm not against tithe though. The tithe, those are the church, those are the structures by which the religion is clothed. And that's the exact thing that Jesus is against. Are you getting it?
Yes,
So let me give you another very wonderful stuff. So when we were asking Jesus that, how do we, because everything is, hey, to get to heaven, pay your tithe. So everything's about heaven. The heaven is in you. All right? It's not me talking now. So this is not that one donkey just came up one day and just starts saying what it is. What Jesus said now. How do we get to that heaven? Do you know what he told them? So he gave a very interesting parable, because it was just after it, when they were talking about law, because that's what we all do, the law, the 10 commandments and all the laws of the religious structure. He now told them, okay, you know what? The law is based on one, but it's like onto two, but it's one and the same. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Okay? Shebi is God, is the Lord you are loving. Guess what? He says this sin I'm about to say now is the same. Everything is the same. Love your neighbor as thyself. What has he just told you? Love yourself and love your neighbor. He says, in this is all the law hinged upon. That's the whole essence of everything. Love, not Jesus, not give your life to Christ too, but love. That's it. Love. It's all about love. It's not about religion. So my spirituality is hinged on what Jesus said and what Jesus is and what God is. And that is why he says God is love. They just told you what God is. So who are you supposed to be worshiping? Love. But people don't get it. So when you start to talk like this, they say it's anti-religion, it's anti. So someone even described me that maybe I'm a Christian now. I didn't say I'm something else. I'm just telling you what Jesus has said. So if it's against your religion, so that's your
doctrine.
So this is exactly what Jesus said. And guess what? In the nutshell, this is what he eventually finally said. The parable of the Good Samaritan. Guess what? He says the priest, because the priests were ordained through their journey from Egypt, through the Israelite journey and all, there are too many stories, but let me just cut it short. There was a priestly line. There was also a Levite line. Okay, the Levites. Guess what? The priest was going to the synagogue. He saw the wounded man, he left them. Jesus condemned. You know, he's the same God now that made them who they are. He condemned them. The Levi, that they are Levites for life, he condemned them. He's Samaritan. Even the Jews don't regard the Samaritan. It's the Samaritan that took care of that one. It's the one Jesus. It's not Angel Michael that acknowledged this story. It's Jesus. Maybe it's Jesus who are worshiping. Maybe it's Jesus I gave my life to. And it's Jesus that said is the Samaritan that he regarded. And that's the whole essence of life and eternity. So that is where I'm hinged upon. We can use many stories to buttress it. We can use many ways to disregard it. But that's exactly what it is, and no one can question it.
Before you got to this kind of place in your heart, in your mind, like you rightly said, you took like 4 to 5 years to study about, like, how many books? Or like how many books did you read?
I'm a polymath naturally. I've read too many books. I can't remember.
Wow.
So like, even as a Christian, I've been very involved. I've been very involved with church for the last 20-something years. Most of these charismatic new groups that you see, either drama groups, either dancing groups. So I was also privileged. This is a testimony. This is not by pride. You have dance groups. You have, they're very popular, the royal dancers, and even the personalities. I saw the vision. I didn't see the vision. I was shown the vision, because God takes the glory of what was going to happen even in this dispensation. And I saw the first call, so I was also part of the people used by God to start it, that others took, and they're all over the world today. But you will never know that there's a guy called So it's not Dante, so it's Tony, because I'm a multiple personality. So there's Tony Awobode, there's Tony Roland Awobode, and there's also Dante. So Tony, or brother Tony, was also privileged to be in that line. We did charismatic stuff, we did a lot of stuff, evangelism and stuff. So my build-up is from there. So in the Christian, I've read the Bible back to back, maybe, I can't remember, too many times. I still do. Today, the sermon that I heard in church was about the tithes, but I've read Malachi, because they always quote Malachi 3. I've read the whole of Malachi. I understand the whole essence of Malachi, from Malachi 1 to the end of Malachi. The stories that the Israelites were asking God. They asked him 6 questions, and God answered them 6 times. It was one of them that he says, will you not bring the harvest to my storehouse? That was like in their 5th discussion. So there was something they said in the first discussion. There was something they said in the second. So now Christians and church, my own reverend, I respect, he used it today. Is that one they still quoted today? They quoted just one
out of the 6 questions.
Yeah, so go and find out what they were asking. It was in the 3rd that they even talked about divorce. So, and the people who use it to quote divorce. Why was it talking about the storehouse? Why was it talking about the divorce? The same Jesus also later, when he came, even spoke about it. Why are you now bringing the tithes? You're bringing the tithes in cumin and in spices. And you forgot the weightier matters of the law. I'm not asking for the tithe. It was for a reason. That's why I said you should pay the tithe. It was for a reason. And even that reason, because it's by law, you didn't even keep it. You understand? So even if you wanted to take the law, take the weightier matters of the law. Guess what the weightier matter of the law is? I say you should observe. Not even, go and bring me tithes. Don't bring me, bring the into the storehouse. I will open the windows. All that is just for that period. You know what he says? The weightier matters of the law. Love. Justice. Justice. So we call it social justice. In the society, be equal to every man. Don't say because this one is a rich man, you now subvert justice, which is going on now, the criminal justice system. You arrest someone, police station, you use big manism, and even the poor man will oppress that down the second poor man. Those are the things he was talking about. Yes, he said, observe the weightier matters of the law if you want law, because I've come to give you grace. Guess how can someone say, I've given you grace, but you decide to choose law? So you say, okay, you even like law. Okay, choose the weightier part of the law. But me, I've come to give you grace, and to give you grace more abundantly. So your law, your observance of the law can never be sufficient to be with him. You can't, because it says your righteousness is like filthy rag. So yeah, if we know all this and then we just keep, because like I said, religion is a condition, and it's also very good for society, because with the condition you will feel compelled to be obliged. You know, I was even pay your tithe. No, if I have money, it's good. Being a social institution, which a church is a social institution, just like a family, just like your university, is good for you. So yeah, go to church if you don't.
Interesting. It's still random with Dante on random. Yes, random with Dante. That is what it is. He's taking me to places where I never want to go before. Now, we've touched on so many things. Let's talk entertainment. Entertainment. I'm a very passionate person when it comes to entertainment, and most of all my guests that have been on this show, I love to always ask them questions surrounding entertainment.
Fantastic.
So, thank God you've mentioned it earlier that you were there from the very beginning of, let me say, the present day pop culture, talking about the hip hop guys and everything, the hip hop industry, and Ibadan seemed to be a force to reckon with. back in those days.
Yeah.
I know that you, if I don't know any other thing, I know that you are a huge part of, I couldn't remember the name of the record label now. Is it Cherolicious?
Okay,
or something?
D&D record.
D&D record.
Destiny and Dreams.
Destiny and Dreams, yes, Destiny and Dreams. I think Cherolicious was the name of the CEO or something.
Yes,
and you guys were the owner of TIs.
Yes.
And TIs blew from Ibadan, anywhere, everywhere. Concussion, Eso Ibadan. Beautiful songs that came from Ibadan. But then, back then, even though I'm not sure, but I know that you're aware of Nero Records. You know Nero Records. These guys, Jeru was having collaboration. He had collaboration with Wizkid as a back then. We had Ibadan hip hop industry was bubbling. Yeah. We have somebody like Egbon. Smart.
Okay.
Top Black Hit Africa.
Black Hit Africa.
We have Black Hit Africa. We have all these guys. They come around.
Okay,
we have Maintain. We have
Big Bamo,
Maintain. All of them in Ibadan. But suddenly, the Afrobeat, which is the rainy thing now when it comes to pop culture, is taking over the world. But Ibadan should be one of the foremost beneficiaries of this global takeover. But we are not seeing anything in Ibadan. Where did we how did we lose it, or where did we get it wrong?
We are still there. I don't want to say that we're not there.
Okay.
Because the game is still on. Mm-hmm. The game is not over.
It's not over yet. Yes, it's not over until it's over.
so usually there are contributing factors at every single time, and creative errors. So there are creative errors. So sometimes you see the guys from the north, just like the time the Chocolate City, MI and his brothers, they were the ones at a certain time making a lot of buzz. Mm-hmm. There was one time it was Diaspora. Mm-hmm. You know, Don Jazzy came back, the band came back.
What's his bro's name? JJC.
Yeah, many of them, you know. So there's one time it will be Port Harcourt guys, one time it will be Bini guys, one time it's be Badon. Yeah. So there's always a creative era. Now, the creative era contributes to the entirety of the industry. So you cannot say, because right now you're getting the acclaim, you cannot say it belongs to Lagos. No, they're contributors. They're contributors. Don't forget that when Chocolate City were reigning, do you know what the likes of Jazzy, Jags, and the likes of MI, do you know what they did to the music industry, Chocolate City at itself? Do you know what the likes of, I don't want to mention, there are too many of them. Then there was so Coded Tunes, there was a time Coded Tunes brought in,
Nice.
It's not only just Nice.
Yes, there were many.
There were many of them.
Jobless.
So at every single time and era, there are contributors. So for us, our contributors at that time that you can visibly remember were the likes of Maintain. Don't forget that their contributions can never be erased.
Yeah.
There were some other guys who they had their roots, but they may claim Lagos because Lagos is the commercial, and that's a mistake we make in Ibadan. We always try to compare Lagos and Ibadan. There's no comparison. It's two worlds. It's mutually exclusive. Lagos and Ibadan is two different places. Lagos happens to be the business hub. So even creatives that are coming out of Ibadan need to go, or usually go to the Lagos and then claim the Lagos. But their roots from Ibadan. There was a time in the early days when you listen to the likes of Earthquake, and they came from Polytechnic. A lot of them came from that Ibadan system, Ibadan institution. One of the guys I had, who's your guy that has one of the biggest songs, Spyro. Went to UI, Spyro is, so we can even claim Spyro as an Ibadan person. But do you ever see in his whatever profile that it's got to do with Ibadan?
I remember when I had my show in 2011, Laugh and Roll with Afro and Friends. I think it was the second edition. It was Fashpizi that brought Spyro to come and perform at One Factory.
Okay, Headies, the next rated. In fact, I had to go. I jumped on stage now to go and help collect the award too, because I claimed it for Ibadan. Skooky.
Yeah, Bish.
And Vava Bisha and Vava Boom.
I met them at Exodus. We God rest the soul of T-Money. Here on Ring Road. That was where I met Big Ishe when they were producing, was it not Banga now? The first one before Banga. They had one song like that too.
Fantastic. See, there are two okay, Dremel went to DMW. There were alien tunes. Oh, many of them. So right now, my memory eludes me because there are just too many.
Just too many.
Too many.
In fact, it's just my 20th year in Ibadan. But then even the last 20 years, I could mention a whole lot. Wale Waves, Sinleke, many of them.
Okay, so you won't believe that on Kole Afolayon's movie, the theme song that got some awards was written by and sung by Wale Waves.
Yeah.
The song went all over the world. So there's too many creatives. And guess what? You know, as a concept developer working for many of these I don't mention names. As I say, the yellow company, the telecommunication, the green company. I work for the red one too. And we're everywhere. There are so many creatives from Ibadan that are even top industrialists everywhere that you will not know, but they are Ibadan product. It's just that some of us just chose to brandish the hashtag My Ibadan, like I always say, My Ibadan. But yeah, too many creatives, too many people doing too many things that are linked to Ibadan. I believe that as everyone is contributing to the ocean of success, that the tides will also turn to favor the Ibadan creatives. Look at my guy that I'm so proud of, Dottie Jones.
Dottie Jones.
Yeah,
yes.
So it's now Dottie the deity.
Anytime I remember these names, I met Dottie at Lovers. No, is it Love Word? No, not Love Word now. Pastor Reverend Fola Keike's church, somewhere in Akobo.
Okay.
It was a musical competition. It came first. Yeah. It was a VG. I went there to anchor.
It was working for me then.
It was working for you then. Yes, that was
so. These are great. Okay, so one day. So my office, just like your office, you know, I have a studio as well, and it was composing, you know, and I was doing my work, and the spirit hit me, and I said, no, I can't keep this boy. I can't. I must not. This guy belongs to the world. This guy can stand stage by stage with any creative in the world.
And in case you don't know, maybe you are not familiar with the name, you know Dottie the deity. That's the Dottie we are talking about. So he
chose to, you see that line of music, the genre of music he's doing, he chose to just stay there. He can do anything he wants to. He can stand with any creative in the world, trust me. You get? Many of them like that too. Many. Don't forget that what is it, Chris Beats or some
Chris, yes.
Yeah, so these are Ibadan products.
When he dropped that partner, it changed the entire Nigerian music, the composition. Because then we used to fast, high tempo beats. But when he dropped that partner, everything calmed down, and Afrobeats took a new dimension.
So is that not contributing to that? So, like I said, there's always a creative era. You know, so everyone is great. So you cannot take it out from the Bini guys. You cannot take it out from the Delta. You cannot take it out from the Port Harcourt people. You cannot take it out from Jos. You cannot take it from KD Boys. You cannot take Abuja Boys. One time they too were.
Yes.
So everybody has their creative contribution. Everybody has their time. So I believe that our time will come. We've tried to push the likes of Fabulous Peasy. Come on, be me.
Yes, it's
don't be so pop champagne.
Wiser.
Many of the creatives.
Kenzo, a lot of them.
See, Kenzo is taking the world.
Yeah.
Trust me. Kenzo can stand on any stage in the world and produce great African music that will last generations. These guys can do that. It's just that we're looking for bigger platforms that they can exhibit their talent. And once they go beyond the regional contributors, like I say in my own spirit, I just say, no, Dottie, you gotta leave. That was the day I freed him in my spirit. Go and explore. But because sometimes we maybe some of the creatives get it wrong, and sometimes some of their contributors could be their management. Everyone wants to hold on to the little thing that they have, you know. Sometimes people don't want to let go. They are afraid that. So imagine if I knew Dotty was going to get this big while it was working for me. What I've done, I'll just sign a 10-year contract. But no, go, fly, go. We can't wait. And for someone like me, I try to extend this to all the industries in entertainment, even to the comedians. Let's build them as fast as we can. Build them, give them all the support. I don't need anything in return. My pride is to see them blossom. So we just contribute in their lives and ask everyone to contribute. Please help this guy. Yeah. You all. You come on, just go. Don't claim about. Just claim anywhere. Claim that you're from Arizona. Just succeed first. Then we can now discuss it. See the likes of Remote. See Kiki. They're all over. See, I'm proud of this. These are my. Okay, maybe because you called me OG before IG.
Yes, so.
And I may not really entirely look my age. You know, I'm trying to just form.
I'm trying to disguise.
So I keep my hair, look young and all that. Yeah. But most of these guys, and even most of the superstars that you know, mention the ones that you call the biggest OGs. You know, I mean, this is 22, 23 years when I'm running their promo. I have a lot of their what you call promo CDs that I promoted, so I know everyone. Is it Olamide you want to tell me about? Is it David? Is it Davido? I mean, they came as up and coming stars that we pushed at that time. So I've seen generations of successes. I've seen it happen. So I cannot, especially the fact that I'm still here, despite the fact that I play everywhere, I cannot still wait to see the new guys, the new talents. You have some new boys. Have you gone to any show? Have you gone to any rave recently? You see some of these new boys, new crazy people, like, wow, these guys just need to be out there. So yeah, so that's how it is. We're not lacking. I don't believe we're lacking. We may just be a little bit at a disadvantage or not pushing our creative in this. We're not contributing so much in the creative era. But can we deny that there's a Dotty the deity? We can't deny that. It's still out there. Dremel is still out there. We are not giving up on Fabulous PZ. Kenzo is going to have a world tour later this year or next year. It's going to be the collaboration. I mean, we're not denying. These guys are still our guys. So we're not, I'm not taking it as if we're like, you know.
I love that.
Yeah, we're still there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Finally, because we've been able to touch on many things. You have a very close relationship. You have worked in close relationship with politicians.
Yes, I have.
Are you impressed by your friends?
Who are my friends?
Your friends in the political. I'm talking of politicians now. I know you have a lot of them as friends, as associates and all. But then, the Nigerian political climate, what are your thoughts on it?
So this is it. So you need to know my foundation. When I left secondary school, 3 months after I left secondary school, I started to work for the federal government.
Oh.
Yeah, so I have a little bit of experience. I think I've lived multiple lives.
Yes, you have.
So while I worked with the federal government and the Nigerian Railway Corporation, I also joined the union. At a very tender age, at the age of 19, I was already going for conferences as a union executive
Of the Nigerian Railway
Corporation, going all over Nigeria. So all the biennial conferences, the NLC conference that brought in one of, I don't say maybe Oshiomhole, one of those, I was a delegate. So while I was also in UI, I joined the National Association of Geologists and Mining Students. I've always had the Aluta blood. I am never always about myself. I'm always about the people. I think that's one of the things that also get me into a lot of trouble. So I'm also the chairman of the, so we have outdoor practitioners of Oyo State. I'm the chairman of the association. So I'm still carrying Aluta to my professional life. And I'm chopping a lot of cane. Why do I have this spirit in me? It's because I wish, and just like in my spiritual state of mind, social justice above every other thing. So I don't believe in privilege rights. I believe that once the common man is okay, everything is okay. But when you're talking about personal friendship, I'm okay with my friends now because it's not a personal thing. Is it your problem?
At all.
Yeah. So while when we were young and running things, the governor of a state, his son was my friend. He's been my friend since I was in secondary school. I have absolute respect and I love him so much, Dapo Lam. I mean, we knew each other as teenagers. Now we are grown up. When I had my first son, he was in my house for naming ceremony. So would you say I'm not impressed with him as a friend?
No.
I am now. He was commissioner for youth and sports. I worked in his ministry. I used to go to his office. We were a team. We helped also develop some of the structures of the Ministry of Youth and Sports while Dapo was there. So if Dapo gets into a place of position, I will hope that he performs well. Later in life, the son of a governor also became a friend of mine, Lamiju. So would you now say, while he's there in the federal rep, he's doing what he's doing, I'm happy with him now. So if you now come down to who again? Is it Sheyi you want to say? Sheyi is a biker, is a patron. I like him as a person. Do you understand? I've had one or two interactions with him or I've listened to him, let me use that word instead, or I've been in close association with his associates. I love him as a person because I've heard some of this inner state of mind. He wishes well. But will I say anytime I see potholes in the city, will I not complain? I complain now. And then the day they fix the pothole, what do I do? I'm happy again. But generally, this country is in a state of, can you borrow me an adjective?
In the
we're
words
in
of
a
Patrick Obaya,
we're in a pathetic,
Disma.
state. We're in we are so unfortunately positioned. It's a horrible thing. Okay? So I'm not saying this is got nothing to do with the people that I love, because I love those people to the core. I'm a Malo. I grew up in the north. Our loyalty is 100%, but there's no political affiliation to our loyalty. It's to the person. So I can never come here and deny that I like Sheyi Makinde. I love him. I can never deny that I love Dapo Lam. Whether he goes to APC, they now use the party divide. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in all those party divides. So, but can it be better? Obviously, yes. And in the national level, it is even more catastrophic. So, yeah. Am I feeling the brunt of it? Yes. Is my retired mom feeling the brunt of it? Yes. It's just as simple as that. It should be better, because we're just in a very horrible state. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Something just hit me now, and I think I must mention it before we go. Okay. Finally, for the last time. Okay. Finally, for the final time, I want to think. There are some you are on social media, yes, and of course you comment on some of those things. There are certain personalities that are very interesting on social media. Okay. One of them is very dark man.
Oh, let me take off my glasses.
Are you a Rattle, or you are a fan, or you don't want to be identified as Rattle, but you like the guy?
No, but you should know me by now that I don't identify as. I'm beyond that. That's why even the biggest religion, which is Christianity, when you talk to me deeply, I will say, no, I'm even beyond that. So you can't even put me in
a box and give you a tag
and say I'm a PDP, PC. I'm beyond that. Or then you now subject me to be in a VDM, social media. I'm beyond that. But I understand things, and I resonate with things that I feel is right. Anything that has got to do with social justice, I will always support it. I'm an Aluta by blood. Then I know that God works in mysterious ways. The reason why I will support, even before Very Dark Man became who he is now, is because he has gained more followers in the recent years. Even while it was still, I resonate with some of the things that he says because it aligns with my thought. The mode by which he does it, I can never be in that. But should I now condemn it? Okay? So if Jesus had to flog the people that were selling things in the synagogue, he had to flog them. So one means or the other, the means may not be right, but the message never changes. I believe VDM is what we deserve. Do you understand? Just like sometimes I wish that when I see the indiscipline in society, for a split second I wish it was military. It's not because military is good. We just need some people to flow, including me, to flog us, to align us. Because you jump the queue. Why? But if it's military era, you hey, come back here. Wow. They give you one koboko. So VDM is that because there's a whole lot of nonsense going on. So it takes a little bit of nonsense to address the nonsense. So I think for now, VDM is who we deserve. So let him be knocking them.
Nice, 2x2. I love that response. Thank you so much. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another interesting episode of Random. I said it that you will enjoy it, and I want to believe you have drank from the stream of knowledge and of course the experiences of Tony Roland Awobode. Don't he said so?
You heard.
I can't forget that. All those radio ideas. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. After that, Samuel, don't forget to subscribe. Drop your comment. Let me know what you think, what you feel about all the subjects we've touched. And don't forget to tell a friend, and to tell another friend about the platform. Thank you so much. Till I see you again next week. I want to say a very big thank you once again to Dante for making time to be with us on Random. Till next time, after that, Samuel is the name. Have a wonderful day.